By the time a golden-crowned fighter jet soared through AI skies, dropping pixelated excrement onto a crowd of protesters labeled "No Kings," the gesture felt less like a glitch in the system and more like a ritual affirmation. The scene, simultaneously grotesque and kitsch, crude and composed, was not an aberration, but a sacrament. The meme, generated and posted by Donald Trump himself, was a full recapitulation of an ancient grammar, one our culture has been muttering through toilets, temples, and tweets for millennia. It was the sewer speaking in crowns. This was not merely a joke or a provocation, and it certainly wasn't just satire. It was a final theological condensation of the sacred shit cycle we've been tracing. In its AI absurdity, the image distilled everything: the God who leaks the world into being, the priest who purifies by exclusion, the fool who mocks the throne until he ascends it, the pamphleteer who makes excretion a genre, the bourgeois who hides his waste behind porcelain, the modernist who sings the sewer into scripture. And now, the meme lord president who reigns by dropping symbolic sludge from above, filming it, posting it, and watching the ritual unfold in the algorithms below. This image of Trump, airborne and regal, raining feces upon protesters, plays first as parody, then as power. It follows the logic of the divine leak, the leader who creates not through order but overflow. Atum masturbating the world into being, Tlaltekutli vomiting up mountains, now transmuted into the ex-president discharging AI waste onto dissenters. The medium is synthetic, but the myth is, primordial, vitality through leak, sovereignty through secretion. The crowned pilot creates the world not by argument, but by emission. It is a cosmogony of crap. But the second logic is priestly, purification by projection. The protesters are cast not as citizens, but as contaminants, political sewage. The caption, "Just cleaning up the mess," reanimates Levitical and Zoroastrian sanitation codes. Impurity must be expelled beyond the camp, kept out of the stream. In the meme, excretion is governance. The audience is meant to feel not disgust, but relief. Here is the sovereign managing the system's waste. Here is the ruler as toilet, no further questions. And yet, the deeper structure draws from the carnival, or at least its ghost. In earlier centuries, the jester was allowed to mock the king as part of a ritual of release, an inversion that kept the hierarchy fluid. Trump, however, performs the inversion from above. He doesn't play the fool for the crowd, he turns the crowd into fools. What was once a horizontal carnival of mutual recognition becomes a vertical punishment. The king drops shit on his subjects. The laughter is no longer catharsis, it's control. Without a ritual valve, the carnival becomes cruelty. The meme also functions as pamphlet, inheriting the scatological polemics of the Reformation. Where Luther and his opponents depicted one another birthing heresy from their bowels, Trump's image literalizes the metaphor in digital form. The AI video, endlessly replicable, enters the feed like a stool sample gone viral. Each repost a kind of shared excretion, each defense or outrage a perfunctory flush. As in the pamphlet wars, the point is not persuasion, but saturation. The discourse becomes a digestive system too overwhelmed to pass. Still, the aesthetic tells another story, polished, triumphant, cinematic. This is Enlightenment Polish lacquered over sewer logic. The image borrows from Top Gun with a crown. Its visual syntax is aspirational, even noble, until the feces begin to fall. The tension is deliberate. We are not supposed to see the contradiction between honor and excretion. We are meant to experience them as one thing: cleanliness through shit, dominance through disgust, progress through the purge. Which brings us to the porcelain paradox. The meme drags excretion into public view again, but always as projection. The jet is clean, the king is untouched. The mess lands only on the protesters. The image insists on the purity of the excreta. It does not show the leak as mutual or shared. It shows the shit as weapon. This is, the final form of bourgeois hygiene: privatize the waste, then weaponize it. And yet, beneath the spectacle, a deeper tradition stirs. The return of the abject as revelation. Like Joyce's bloom on the toilet, or Bataille's radiant anus, this image transgresses the boundary between filth and glory. But it does not do so to humanize or equalize. It does so to assert power. The grotesque has been, well, reskinned in algorithmic grace. The sewer has become theology again, this time rendered in high definition and looped for maximum impact. The result is a lexicon of waste made visual. Words like infested, vermin, human scum, and shithole. These are not just rhetorical slips, they are structural motifs. They recast human beings as garbage. The meme does not invent this framing, it summarizes it, really. The AI dump from the sky is the perfect closing image of a language that has, for years, treated entire populations as refuse to be flushed. It's the culmination of a symbolic system that has spent decades rehearsing the logic of filtration as politics. And it performs. It circulates. It dominates the weekend news cycle. It produces exactly the reaction it seeks: revulsion, outrage, defense, repetition. And yet, it also risks collapse. In our final triadic logic, the excretor risks becoming the stained. The audience risks shame by proxy. And the target risks transformation into martyr. The ritual that begins as purification can end in backfire. The crowned pilot may find his wings soiled. This is the eternal dilemma of scatological sovereignty. Its pleasure is immediate, its danger recursive. Every purge ritual carries the risk of reversal. Every flush might flood the throne. And so, the meme returns us to the beginning. From atom to Twitter, from sacred spittle to AI excretion, the politics of waste remains our oldest liturgy. To rule is still to regulate flow. To dissent is still to overflow. And the question, as ever, is what happens when the leader wears a crown, flies the jet, drops the waste, and still believes he's the clean one. From golden jet to golden bowl, the sewer crowns, the pipes console. But when the king begins to flush, beware, the gods still leak too much.